Remember, in Chinese Qigong history, there are 4 major schools. The first school is the medical Qigong. Then after that is a scholar Qigong. The medical Qigong is the oldest one. Then after that is a scholar Qigong. Scholar Qigong is second oldest one. After that is religious Qigong. Religious Qigong started about 2,000 years ago. Medical Qigong is about 4,000 years ago. And scholar Qigong started about 2,400 years ago. Then, when religious Qigong entered China, slowly adapted into the monastery, for example, Shaolin Temple. So about 500 AD, around that time, then the martial art Qigong was developed. The whole concept of martial art Qigong is to use your mind to lead the Qi to physical body, to energize physical body for the actions, for the power manifestations. So through that reason, then the martial arts in China since then developed into internal style and external styles. All right, here now we talk about the martial art breathing, Qigong breathing. Because breathing is part of a Qigong training, it's so crucial, especially in ancient time. Then let's try to review what's breathing do to your body. Remember, we talk about Qi, right? Qi, these words, we divide it into 2 words. It's these words and plus these words. This word is air, and this word is rice. Again, I want to refresh your memory. In the other lesson, we talk about glucose plus 6 oxygen becomes 6 water and plus 6 carbon dioxide and release 686 kilocalories of energy. Remember, this one is converted. When this energy converted, it converted into the heat, converted into the light, and converted into bioelectricity. It maybe have other forms of energy so far, but it's not the major one. The bioelectricity so far we know is talk about Qi. And through the nerve system, remember, the nerve system is electric fiber. When the electricity is abundant, the nerves become sensitive. When the nerves become sensitive, the nerve can energize the muscle to higher efficiency. Okay. The concept is how do I take in the oxygen? I have more oxygen I take in, the more I have electricity. I can manifest into physical actions more powerfully. Keep thinking. We never use 100% of our muscles. According to my information, got it? Usually the body we use about 42% to 46% of our muscles. We are using it every day. Unless you are bodybuilders or use heavy workers, then you can use the muscles all the way to 80%, but you never use the muscle to 100%. Now, the question is, how do I activate more muscles so I can make my bodies perform more energy, more powerfully? That becomes very important key of a martial art Qigong. So the key is I have to have more energy there because the physical body is just like a machine. If this machine doesn't have plenty of energy there to supply that, the machine just cannot perform to its most efficient way. So because reason, how can I improve the efficiency? How can I increase the amount of Qi? The become very important crucial key is how do I increase the quantity of Qi? The second step, how do I improve the Qi's manifestation more efficient way? We're talking about 2 things. One thing is called quantity of the Qi. How do I increase quantity? The second one, how do I improve the quality of Qi's manifestation? All these things, everything depends on these things. When the oxygen is as abundant, then I can convert glucose into energy more efficiently. Yeah. For example, I mentioned before, you push your car, you have to inhale first, then you exhale. When you exhale, you tense up, then you push it. You have to inhale deeply. When you inhale deeply, then you have plenty of oxygen to convert the glucose into energy. Then physically, it can be strong. They become very important parts, how you take in the oxygen. So this becomes the main subject of this lesson. Because these oxygens related to what? Endurance. Because you have plenty of oxygen, then that means the muscles won't get fatigued easily, won't produce too much acid when you have oxygen, enough oxygen. If you don't have enough oxygen to handle metabolism, then that's exactly the acid start increase. That's in the battles, you lose your endurance. Not even talk about you don't have enough power, we also talk about your endurance. This especially is crucial in the ancient fighting. You should know in the fighting, it's not really say last for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Very normally, all the fighting lasts for a few hours. If you think about after half an hour, you already become so fatigued, you cannot handle, cannot continue, then you'll be dead. So that's very important in the ancient time. Those people, they learn how to conserve the energy, how much endurance they have. They become the winners. There's no difference with today's boxing. You watch boxing when they fight each other. Those boxers, if they know how to conserve the energy, and they have a good endurance until last the second few rounds of the fight, usually they win. The beginning they keep fighting, they don't know how to conserve energy. Then only the 3rd round, 4th round, they lose the energy, lose the endurance, that's why they got beaten. So, because the reason they become crucial key in ancient time, as I mentioned that this air is this one, the rice is this one. So it becomes, how do you absorb the right food? So this food can convert it into the energy, become important. Especially in the Shaolin temple, it's become very difficult because monks are not supposed to eat meat. But from the history, you understand Shaolin temple is the only monastery in China, Buddhist monastery, that eat meat. Yeah, that's why the Chinese monastery, they usually laugh about Shaolin monk. They say they are the monk of eating meat and wine. That's why Chinese call 酒肉和尚. 酒肉和尚, that means wine and meat, the monk of wine and meat. So a lot of Chinese monasteries, they even deny Shaolin temple is a part of a Buddhist society. That's because they eat meat and wine. The question at that time, without the meat, you just cannot produce the plenty of energy because it doesn't matter how. The meat is a protein source. It can convert energy more efficient than eating vegetables. Okay. So from here, the diet side, I think that's why you have to manage it because I'm not qualified to teach you that because I eat everything. But the breathing, let's talk about breathing. All right. The first thing is try to understand about 500 AD, when Bodhidharma came to China at that time, they passed a muscle tendon change and bone marrow washing. Bone marrow washing, bone marrow brainwashing. Bone marrow and brainwashing, that was considered the inside of a training. That's for enlightenment. Muscle tendon change is for physical strength, for power manifestations. But Shaolin temple, Shaolin monks, they easily adopt the muscle tendon change into their martial arts. But for enlightenment, it's not as easy. Because the reason muscle tendon change popular practice and also spread out to the layman society. But at the same time, bone marrow and brainwashing, it continue hidden in the monastery for a long time. It was not until last 20, 30 years they start to reveal the layman society. The whole concept, let's try to see. It says use your mind to lead a chi, and then there's the actions. This is a very simple concept. In the Western society, you say mind and the body, you communicate. So today, very popular, the fashion is today mind and body. Because the mind is internal, body is external. And mind and body, how can you coordinate with each other? How can you communicate each other? The Western society, oh, by the nerves. Okay, by the nerves. I said by the nerves. Chinese says by the qi. Nerves is electric fiber. The qi is bioelectricity. Aha. So this is bioelectricity. This is electric fiber. When the qi is abundant, the nerves become sensitive. Now, what we are talking about? We are talking about one word. It doesn't matter you talk about this one, talk about this one. All we talk about is one word. What this word? It's a feeling. Haha. So now you can see, feeling is a language. This language allows the mind and body to communicate. When the qi is abundant, that means when bioelectricity is abundant, the nerves become healthy, function normally, and sensitive. When the nerve is sensitive, it can conduct energy stronger to energize the physical body, then you are more powerful. So eventually, from a Western point of view, nerves is from physical appearance. From Chinese concept, qi is from energy concept. You talk about the same thing, don't you think so? You talk about the same thing, all they talk about is their feeling. So the question now, I want to use my mind to lead the qi and to my body manifestations. There's a mind. It's very important for the mind. Let's come back to talk about this now. If a qi is bioelectricity, so I put the I, like a current. Remember, scientists in 1996, January 23rd, go back to check in the library, check the date. The scientists announced we have 2 brains. Yeah, actually there's a book talk about second brains already existing. He said we have 2 brains, one on the top, one on the bottom. The bottom we call guts. The scientists say we have 2 brains. These 2 brains connected by spinal cord. So this is a spinal cord. This brain think, and this brain have a memory. Okay. He say, though physically we have 2 brains, the function is 1. How come? That's because this highly electric conductive tissue, that means these 2 brains function, they synchronize each other. Because the highly electric conductive, that means there's no resistance. There's no signal delaying. They synchronize each other. Okay, when you think, the nerves branch out from the spinal cord. Okay, all the nerves branch out. From here you can see on the neck area, all these nerves connected to the sensing organs. This area connected to the internal organ. This area go to your leg. That's how our mind controls entire body, or mind can feel entire body's function through the spinal cord. You think, how do I move this marker from here to here? I think first. Once I think, then the electricity from here, through the spinal cord going up, and through the nerve system. Remember, nerves is electric fiber. So electricity going up through the nerve system, I make my muscle contract. Now I'm moving. So all the movements initiate from the mind. That's the reason Chinese, they say, this is internal, and this is external. So because the reason some style I start dividing it, it's 500 AD. Some style I say, well, if the action is a power P. He say, if the actions is origin from the mind, why shouldn't we start from the mind first? You train the mind because the mind is stronger, then power becomes more significant, more powerful. So that's what becomes called internal style. So internal style is from internal to external. That's called internal style. But some styles say, no, we need technique immediately for our defense. Once you learn how to defend yourself, then slowly you develop the internal style, make it more powerful. So this one becomes external style, this becomes internal style. So Chinese say internal style is from internal to external. External style from external to internal. The different approach reach the same goal. Now I was joking. I say if I have 2 students, one student asks them train internal style. The other one asks them train external style 3 years, let them fight. Which side will win? The answer pretty obvious. External style will win because I already learned the technique how to fight you. But this guy still say, hey, where's my G? Yeah, because this reason, this is much harder for internal style to apply the technique with the right way of internal to external. That's the reason for my point of view today, a lot of internal style, when you talk to them, they don't even know why they call internal style. They don't even meditate. They don't even learn how to use your mind to lead the chi. They don't even know how to breathe right. Most internal style they learn is only forms. Very unfortunate. For example, the Tai Chi Chuan. Tai Chi Chuan today, you can see probably 95% of Tai Chi Chuan teaching today emphasize for relaxations. They don't coordinate with the breathing. They don't coordinate with how to use your mind to lead the chi. When you talk to them, they say, eh? That means all they learn is only physical part for relaxations. They lose the most important essence they call internal style, because you have to learn how to bring your mind to higher efficiency. Now, let's try to see how this happened, right? I want to remind you this point. This one is a battery. Chinese call this is called lower real dantian. You want to know real and false dantian in the embryonic breathing? We discussed it heavily. Okay, later we may talk about it a little bit. The lower real dantian. This is called upper dantian. And the spinal cord is called thrusting vessel. That means 2,000 years ago, Chinese already tell you this one is a battery. And this one control the manifestation of a power. Okay, this battery is very easy to recognize. A lot of people ask me, how do you know this one? Because this one is where is the center of gravity. Think about center of gravity, what they mean to you. Remember, the human body constructed through the egg and the sperms that become first human cell. And this first human cell start divided and become bigger and bigger and bigger until your body constructed. So that's why remain the center of gravities. It means physical center. Okay, from the first cell until entire body constructed. This cell still remember the center. Remember, this cell died a long time ago. But this area, it can remain the center. I don't care the beginning of the development or even you already constructed. So that means the beginning energy from here spread out until now your energy still from this center spread out. That's a physical center. It's very easy for you to understand why this place remains the center of the energy. Okay. And today, scientists already confirm this called guts actually is where the battery is stored the energy. Okay. Once you understand this concept, let's try to step further. Ohm's law. From Ohm's law, you know, mind generate what? Think. If a chi is by electricity, in order for the electricity to move from one side to the other side, what is required? It requires potential difference. So we call V, or I call delta V. Delta must mean potential difference. Okay, so delta V equals to IR. This R is resistance. The whole concept is I want to increase I. That means electric circulation. If I can increase I, then that means I can increase power P, because P equal to I square R. Key point is this square. See? So that means the more electricity I circulate in the body, the more power I can manifest it. All right? Now, the whole key is how do I increase this one? Delta V. See, that means the more I can increase delta V, the more power I can lead. See, that's become a very crucial key of a martial art Qi Gong. So, if I ask you, say, okay, do you increase the delta V? Say, oh, concentration. How do you improve concentration? Is the concentration easy or it's not easy? It's not easy. The key point is say, okay, are you shooting archery or the gun? I don't care. Can you concentrate? If your concentration is not deep enough, your mind cannot connect it to the target, you're not going to get it. It's very important how far for this mind you can connect it with the target. That's exactly, it comes back to humans, is the predators. When you're predators, before we hunt and we eat, we hunt, eyes focus to that point. From where? From here. Can this part connect it to the enemies? Can this part connect it to the target? Become important. So for example, I want to shoot a gun. You only just look, or your mind is all the way to the target. This part connect to the target. If you got there, you can get accurate. If you're not going to get accurate. Everything depends how much of that concentrations. The second one, talk about how steady of your arms, how your hands, you shoot an archery or shoot a gun. How can you develop this concentration? Become the crucial key in a lot of Qigong training, includes the Western church. See, that's become a very important part we call meditation. But when you do meditate, you meditate is learn to focus the point into one point. I'll invite you to do the experiment. Very simple. Just put a finger like that, and your mind put on these fingers. And watch it, 5 minutes. You see how long your mind actually in this tip. Or your eye look at the fingertip, your mind starts scattering around. You realize you cannot even focus there for 30 seconds. That's mean in the fight, you get trouble. Because when you can focus in this through these concentrations, then your mind will be in a high alert state and your high level of awareness. A lot of people don't understand that. My master told me, say, when you learn martial arts, you are not really learning the martial arts. What you learn is the way of life. And that time I didn't understand what you mean the way of life. It just simply talk about morality, talk about self-discipline. Slowly, I realized all the training is called concentration of the mind. Do you have that high level of awareness, high level of alertness? If you do, then you create opportunity. This society, we are all kinds of people. And also there are many opportunities around. Some people who grab the opportunity become good. Some people cannot. What's the difference? The same brain have two kinds of people, the different kind of people. How come this one has a better awareness, they can catch opportunity and develop? Some others cannot. What's the difference? You think the brain is the difference? No, the same. IQ is very similar. The difference is that one have a high alert, high awareness of what's going on. They can catch opportunity. The other one, you just let the opportunity slip out. As simple as that. The same thing in your spar, in a fighting situation, how much you can concentrate this mind. If you can concentrate this mind is so focused that you can lead the chi so strongly to manifest the power. So when you train martial art, actually you're training how to concentrate. A lot of people ask me the same question. You say, hey, Dr. Yang, how come you can pursue your PhD? It's already very difficult, especially in China. The same time, I train almost every day for martial arts. And I have accomplished writing so many books in such a short period. He said, how can you do that? I tell you, without those kind of training before, today it never happened. So one thing we train, or you should train in the future, is very simple. The way we train is just put the candle there. When you put the candle there, you watch the candle 5 minutes a day. Think about that for your concentration. In 5 minutes a day, your spirit mind, spiritual, have to really connect it with that point and move the frame. Every tiny frame move, you have to be aware of it. Or you just watch it, the mind is going away, the frame move, you don't even know. For example, when you are in a sparring, your enemy already punched you, the fist already face your head, you still don't know what's going on. That's why you get punched. Because my master always say, when you are in sparring situation, everything, every part of the body, your face expression, the way you move, the way he stand, is all called body language. Before you punch, your body already show. Your spirit already show the punch. Can you sense that body language? You don't have a high alertness or high awareness, you are not going to catch the body language. If you catch the body language, that's why you can react without react. That means you can react naturally. That's called reflexes. So when you spot, are you training the body language? In order to do that, the first step actually, can you train this concentration? That's what we talk about. If you have this concentration, yes, then I can lead the chi to higher levels. When I can lead the chi to higher level, now this I square is up. Not only that, in order to lead the chi to circulate abundantly, the resistance has to reduce. How do I reduce that resistance? It's called relaxation. Relaxation. When you relax, the chi circulates smoothly. If you're not relaxed, you tense up. This one become a different way of a power manifestation. We have to discuss that because it's all talking about breathing. Okay. I want to remind you, this year now is 2004. The beginning of this year, I believe it's Japanese Medical Society. They have announcements from what they understand experiment. The conclusion is very simple. They say, through thinking alone, you can lose your weight. Through thinking alone, you can build up the muscles. Through thinking, you can get sick. Through thinking, you can heal yourself. The power of thinking. Because why? Because through thinking, you can lead the chi to circulate, and you can manifest it. Then you can manipulate the physical actions. That's the reason when you go to the church, as long as you believe the power of the God, or you believe the power of someone, as long as you believe it, you heal yourself. The question, you believe someone, then you're spiritually, depends on someone. You can be abused spiritually. What you should do, build up the independence of your spiritual mind so you can handle that. You can manipulate anytime you want. That's why Chinese Buddhist society said everyone should become his own Buddha. If you become your own Buddha, then your spirit cannot be abused, cannot be controlled. That's why you become independent. So it's very important for you to understand this concept. Once you understand this concept, then next one, we can talk about power P. Then we can talk about breathing technique. Next, let's talk about the power. Now you already know the mind is so important. This one can generate the potential difference. We enhance the electric circulations. Then now we talk about how power manifested. So this one very important, Chinese called Jing. The first thing is try to see what the Chinese mean by Jing. This one, now I use a JIN, okay, in the book, in order to avoid confusions. Because what? Because this one is also the essence. Jing is the same spelling. But Jing and Jing always exist in the same book. So this one is a Jing, this one is a Jing. So it's different words, but same pronunciations. So because reason caused so much of confusion for the people. So that's the reason I start changing this one to this words. Then you should understand that. All right, let's talk about Jing. Let's marshal power. Okay, now that's why I divide it. But Jing, we divide it, it becomes two words. You understand? In Chinese, I constructed 2 or 3 different words and become a new words, become a new meaning. This one is called Li. It's muscular force. So this is physical. Jing, actually the translation is a path. What it means, that means you direct the power into the path. What that means, focus. When they focus, that means the mind there. When the mind is there, the chi is led. It's so simple, right? So what you can see, this is internal. And this is external. So you go back to look at Chinese dictionary, the definition of a Jing, right away, they say Li and the Qi. When the Li, external, Qi, internal, put together, they call Jing. Because people always say, oh, okay, what is Jing? It's very confusing. It's nothing to confuse. So the Western martial artists get confused. Actually, it's not supposed to confuse so easily, because if you know the internal size. Okay, now let's try to see. Power P. P equal to I square R. Let's try to divide it into 3 parts. Okay, first part, you say you push your car. You inhale, then you exhale. You have to inhale deeply, right? Why? Because we need oxygen. So you have more oxygen to convert the glucose into the energy. As you inhale deeply. The second, remember you hold the breath. Why you hold the breath? Think. You always hold the breath. Watch the people that lift the weight. You inhale, they hold the breath, then lift it up. When they hold the breath, allow the chi reach to its maximum. As simple as that. When the chi can reach the maximum, the muscle can manifest to its most efficient way. That's the reason you hold the breath. It becomes a very simple trick. Later we're going to talk about that in the breathing training. Okay, so now from here you can see, you tense up the R, because now R is tense, the chi is stagnant, chi is not increased. It's stagnant, keep constant, and then P increased. The power increased. This one Chinese called heart jing. Then some styles say no. Because V equal to IR, because I can concentrate so good, so let me I increase I significantly. So that means I prefer sacrifice the R, then I want to increase this one. If I can concentrate, remember this is square. Of course, in ancient time they didn't know. This formula they didn't know. So what they do is I square, you can see 5 times 2 is 10, but 5 square is what? It's 25. See, the power is more than double. So because the reason is very easy for some styles say no. I prefer to relax my muscles so I can increase the chi so significant. So in this case, the P increase. That's what we call soft hard jing. You look at Chinese martial art style, hard jing, soft hard jing, and the other one, I'm sorry, this is a soft jing. I make mistakes. Okay, the other style is say no, I want both. See, I want R up, I want I up, I want P up. See, that's me. I want this up, I want this up, and I want this up. Haha. How did it happen? See, the first one, you relax. For example, I want to manifest my grabbing power. The first one, I relax, I inhale, and I exhale. I relax, I use my mind to lead the chi to the fingertip. See, this one already moved. Once the mind there, the chi is there, then I tense up. So the man inhale, then exhale. Then you tense up. This one called soft hard jing. Now you can see, next time you try to push your car, you inhale, then when you exhale, don't tense up right away. Exhale, slowly, relax. Exhale, when you feel the body start energized, then tense up, then go. You find out you move easily. You open the bottle, inhale, then exhale halfway. Concentrate, then push it. It's much concentrate than just pull right away because the mind get involved deeply. That means more concentration, more focus. Okay. Of course, this ancient time, they didn't know that. I tried to analyze it. But ancient time, they do this way. Okay, let's try to divide this to this way. So this side is more yang side, this side is more inside. So inside, that means the mind, because that's internal. Yang side is physical. Okay, from here you can see more toward this side is more internal. More this side, more external. Now you can see, when you go to this side, not too much concentrations, but a lot of physical, like you push your car. The concentration is not that sharp. It's very normal. Normally, you concentrate only that much. It's a hard gene. This one, typical style, Chinese tiger claw, eagle claw. Yeah, let's consider hard style because they tense up muscle a lot of time. Because in tense up muscle, the qi circulation becomes more stagnant. But when we talk about this side, a little bit physical, a lot of internal concentrations. So this one is like a whip. This is called soft style. Typical is a Tai Chi Chuan. So some styles say, no, I want the middle. So that means I concentrate at the same time, I manifest it. There's a soft hard style. This becomes soft hard style. I asked my white crane master, I say, what's really the difference? Because this side you can see like a white crane, Xingyi. Let me use a pinyin. Xingyi. Snake, dragon. These all belong to this style, soft hard style. Yeah, you watch the Xingyi, right? Because Xingyi is an army style. So it's in the army in the ancient time of martial arts, in martial art combat situations, how do you preserve endurance is most important. So you can see the Xingyi, they stand. When they stand this way. They get ready. Yeah, it's very comfortable and relaxed. When they start, they see how they punch. They inhale, so relaxed, then exhale, then they tense up. You exhale, then they tense up. Yeah. Like you want to break something. You don't break this way. You relax, then you break it. So that kind of power is more sharper. Okay. Then I asked my master, say, what's the difference of these three? He said, very simple. He said, when you hit by this one, you say, ow, you got hit. You hit by this one, you say, oh, you get inside. You hit by this one, you say, that means you cannot say anything because it's power penetrating. This power penetrating. The question is, when you hit by a truck, which one? When you see the demonstration, people push, bounce far, far away, which one? This one? No, this one. See, you hit by a truck, this one. Have you ever hit by a truck? Have you ever whipped by the whip? You whip by the whip, you bounce miles away? No, you don't. See, that's what we master, we demonstrate the sandbag. This one, we hit it, the back, boom, go very far away. When we hit by this one, the sandbag, boom, go this way. When we go here, the back just stop. This penetrate. So, keep thinking. So when this power manifested, this is steady. How come? How come this deep and steady, this one is not? This is a power on the surface. You look at Tai Chi Classic, they always mention this power on the surface, external style. This one penetrate. How can you penetrate this one? A lot of people give me all kind of reasons. Say, oh, because vibration, because my concentration so vibrate, I can rupture the organs. The key point is mind, remember. Here the mind is a big circle. Here mind is a point. Remember we talk about the path. This one you focus into a tiny point. This one a big circle. When you go to power to the tiny point, that means you can strike what? The body's cavities. The entire body, there are more than 700 acupuncture cavities. Inside, there are 108 cavities well known, can be used for martial arts and also used for tension massage. Inside, 72 non-vital, 36 is vital. For example, Ji-Quan. Ji-Quan number 1, this one belongs to heart channels. Okay, noontime, because all these 36 cavities related to the time of the day. Chinese divide 24 hours into 12 sections. So that means every 2 hours there are 3 cavities vital. These are our channels. I don't know how many of you ever hit the funny bone. You hit it, you shock this part. How much power you need? It's everything is all focused in the right spot. The same thing. When you hit here, it causes heart attack, noontime. So because of the reason, the more you can concentrate, the more you can strike on the cavities. That means in Chinese martial art, it's well known. Those more go to internal, the more they talk about cavity strike. That means this side is for the older masters. They have more experience. If the masters have more experience, they can concentrate higher than young people. See, when they can concentrate higher, even though they don't have a lot of power, but they can focus in such a tiny spot that becomes so penetrating, can shock your organs. So of course, this one is harder. Once you understand this concept, you can see everything is talk about the qi, because this side, the more on this side, because mind involved, the qi becomes stronger and can manifest more powerfully. All right. Now we talk about this, then let's try to talk about how the body builds up the quantity of qi. You already know the qi manifestation comes from what? We talk a lot, but I don't know how many you register. See, we talk about the martial arts training comes from 2 things. You target on 2 things. First one, what? You want to build up the quantity of the qi. The second, we talk about the qi's manifestation, right? But we already talked about qi manifestation. So what? So the mind, the concentration. The more you can concentrate, the more you can focus into a tiny point and can manifest it to a higher power. Then now talk about how do we increase the quantity of the qi. That's what the breathing step in, martial arts steps, breathing step in. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay. So at this point, if you never study the Qigong lecture, the foundations, I will urge you to go back to look at those before you continue, because inside we talk about breathing. Here I can only start to briefly talk about it. You want to talk about detailed discussion is in that one. Okay. The first thing we try to see, recognize. This is the very button. Another inch down, this is called yin jiao. It's called yin junction. Because this cavity is a thrusting vessel connected to conception vessel. Because 2 yin vessels that connected in the same spot, we call yin jiao. Then another inch down, I use red color. This one, acupuncture, they call qi hai. Qi hai. Qi hai, that means qi ocean. Okay, this area in Taoist society, they call Dan Tian. Dan does mean elixir, and the Tian is a field. The one is from Taoist society, the other one is from medical society. It's amazing. Both societies, they've been isolated for a long time, but both societies agree. This place is an elixir field. That means if this place is a field, can grow elixir, that means it can be unlimited. Elixir, that means the qi, because it extends your life. Then at the same time, acupuncture called this place qi hai, qi ocean. That means this place can give plenty of a qi, like an ocean. Okay, now both agree here. But the question is, why here? How come not here? Not here. How come not here? How come it has to be here? But from Chinese Qigong experience for 2,000 years, they realize one thing. Through this abdominal exercise, you in and out, the qi quantity increase. And think about, there are only 3 ways, as I know so far, can increase the body's quantity. We are not talking about getting nourishment from outside. That's talking about high levels. We're talking about simple things. The first one, rely on herb. Chinese discovered there are few kinds of herb that can boost your body's energy. For example, we know ginseng. There is another one called bazhen. Bazhen is actually 8 treasures, or Chinese translate called 8 precious. Yeah. So those things can easily boost the body's energy. Again, it's herb from outside. Then the second technique comes from abdominal exercise. In and out, in and out. He said this one can increase the quantity of qi. The question is how and what? The third one from muscle tendon change bone marrow washing, they use a massage technique to convert this one into the qi. The question is why here? Because this place in the Taoist terminology they call dan lu. Dan lu. Dan is elixir, lu is furnace. Okay, if there's furnace, that means it produced the qi. Why here? So it become very important, very curious for me. And I start research and start understand this area. The question is, why this area? Why this place is different from other places? So to me, I was very curious. So I start research and study about this area. Then what I discover? You take a look for this muscle system here. Look at this area. In this area you can see, actually from the anatomy book you can see a lot of clear pictures there. There are 6 levels. It's not 2 levels, 6 levels. 6 levels of what? Muscle, fascia, muscle, fascia, muscle, fascia. That means those people here that without have too much fat. But eventually, when you cut it open, most time you see it's muscle and fat, because fascia is poor conductor, remember. Fascia is the insulator. That means slow down the circulation in the body. When they slow down circulation, also deposit the fat. So that's exactly what happens whenever you see the fascia existing, they always come together with a lot of fat or some fat, depends which area. All right. Now this area accumulates a lot of fat. Why here? Remember, there's a muscle, fascia, muscle, fat. Fat is a poor conductor. Now you can see there's a big battery here. Big battery here. Huh? And why here? Then you start thinking, I start trace back, okay, put the humans, go back to 1 million years ago. We are the same as the animals. At that time, we didn't know how to build a house, stay in the house, we live in the cave, whatever, live in the wild. We hunt, and we've been hunted at that time. So that's why through the human history for I don't know how many years, the human history, we are the same as animals. Someday you got your victims, then you can have a lot of food you eat. It lasts for a week, then you become fat. Then maybe 3 days, 4 days, you got nothing to eat. You got nothing to eat, are you dying? Actually, you're not dying. Why you're not dying? Because the body have a place to store the extra food you eat. That's what we call fat. Remember, fat is the extra food you eat, but this fat already been filtered by the liver. Because all the contaminants already filtered by the liver and get it out. Everything you store is a pure essence of the food. Remember, you can convert the fat efficiently into calories. It's high contents of calories. So that's mean body have that capability like all the same as animals. When they get fat, that's where the material is stored in this area. All right? Why this area? Remember, this is a conceptual vessel. When the conceptual vessel, it goes to the governing vessel, distribute the energy to 12 channels. So that means when the fat here converted into energy, they can distribute to the entire physical body because 12 channels distribute the energy to the entire body. That's why you can maintain your body's function. So that's a fact. So through this exercise, the Chinese ancient time, they say, you are converting the original essence into the qi. Is that true? So far, I put a big question mark there now. You are not really converting the original essence. Because Chinese say, original essence stored in the kidneys. That's what I think, kidneys. Chinese define kidney, this kidney called internal kidneys. Testicles, ovary, they call external kidneys. But eventually, you store the essence in the kidneys. What you store inside, what you produce in the kidneys. Actually, that's the glands. It produces hormones. So actually, when Chinese talk about hormones, it's the original essence. But remember, hormone, you go back to the basic, the foundation of a Qigong concept, we talk about hormones. What's the function of hormones? It regulates body's metabolism. The other words, it expedites the biochemical reaction in the body, make it smoothly happen. The other words is a catalyst. The hormone is a catalyst that enhances biochemical reaction in the bodies. I believe in the high school you always have the catalyst experiment. In the chemical reaction without catalyst can last for a few days. When you put the catalyst inside, it can be a few minutes. That's called catalyst. The body hormone is a catalyst. But itself does not change. Itself does not convert into anything. It's only catalyst. So because the reason I start doubt the Chinese say called convert the original essence, but it's not. Actually converting the fat into the qi. But this fat is pure. Because the reason it doesn't contaminate your thinking. That's the reason a lot of all the religions I think Islam, Christian, Taoist, Buddhist, Hindus, Jewish, they all have a fasting process. What is the fasting process? They cut off the food because those foods contaminated. When we cut off the food, then the body's fat starts supplying the body energy. This is clean. That's why the mind becomes so clean, the spirituality becomes so high. That's a fasting process. It's a cleaning body process in all religions. So sometimes fasting is not bad. It's a good process. It's good training. Okay. All right. Now, they say through this abdominal exercise, in and out, this one I also call the return to the childhood breathing. Okay, that's why I talk about this one called return to the childhood breathing. Why? You can see when the fetus inside the mothers, today they have a fiberglass tube can go put in and see the baby's behavior inside. You see, remember belly coat about 4 feet long and the tangle inside. The mother doesn't have a capability to push nutrition, push oxygen into the babies. Actually, what the baby do? The baby have to suck in. So inside you see the baby this far, they move. This act like a pump. They continue to suck in the nutrition, everything. They absorb, suck in everything from mother. They rip you off. See? That's why babies start grow. Once when the baby is born, this cut it. This cut it, the baby learn how to take in the air from here and take in the food from here. Remember, amazing. That's a human's or animal's instinct. Right after the baby's birth, you can put the baby pinky in the mouth. They right away, they suck. They suck. Because that's the way all the animals survive. Learn how to suck in the nutrition so that make the body continue to grow and maintain the life. And you watch the kids, before 2 years old, when they see watching them, they still have this habit. Slowly, slowly, when turn to 5 and 6, slowly, slowly, they use this area. By no time, they forgot how to use this area. So because this reason, they call back to the childhood breathing, because there's a child. But this kind of breathing just make you young. But eventually, what they means make you young. Okay, let's try to analyze this one. Okay, remember one thing I want to mention. That Taoists, they say this place is called 4 Dantian. It's not real. Taoists say real Dantian is here. There's a real law Dantian. Okay, this subject we can talk into the small circulation or embryonic breathing. Just bear in your mind. Okay, you want to know more about that explanation, get the embryonic breathing and get a small circulation. Okay, now we focus on this part. There are 2 ways normally used in the called abdominal breathing. The one called normal abdominal breathing. This one also called Buddhist breathing. What's the process for this one? It's very easy. There's a diaphragm. Okay, so what you do, you inhale, diaphragm pull down, and diaphragm relax, the carbon dioxide going out. So because this is a chamber. So what you do, when you inhale, abdomen, you push out, perineum, you push down. You can experience yourself. It's very relaxing. All right, took this process. When you inhale, because you take energy in, you consider in. When you exhale, you manifest, consider yang. So that's when you inhale, this consider in. When this is push out, it's considered yang. In the push down, consider yang. Now you can see in this process, there's an yin and yang coexisting. If they're coexisting, that means they harmonize with each other. So because the reason is very relaxed. You like a look. If this one going out, this coming down, the largest small intestine drop. When largest small intestine drop, allow the diaphragm coming down much lower. So that means diaphragm can go down all the way here. Okay, look at what here. There's a kidney. In this breathing, abdomen is out, perineum is down. So perineum down is yang, abdomen is out is yang. And then when you inhale, it's in. So in a yang balance. The question is that when you do this exercise, the largest small intestine start drop. When large small intestine drop, that's allow the diaphragm come down more because I have more space coming down. A few years ago, the French scientists, they discovered through this kind of breathing, the diaphragm can push down the adrenal about 2 centimeters. That means almost 1 inch. So that means what? Through this kind of breathing, then the diaphragm can massage the adrenal. It's not only that, through the abdominal exercise, so the front side have a pancreas. Pancreas also is a gland, produce hormones. Not only that, your testicle ovary, through the perineum's up and down exercise, also the testicle and the ovary produce hormones. So eventually for this process, it's surrounded by 3 glands, and they start stimulate those glands produce hormones. When the hormones produce, that means you can convert the fat into the qi efficiently. No wonder in ancient time Chinese, they think they are converting the original essence into the qi. Actually, they are converting the fat. The original essence is only to help the conversions of the biochemical process. So this kind of breathing you should practice first because it makes you very relaxed. And there's no danger involved. So later we're going to come to start talking because this is a basic. We go over it first. Then second, they call reverse abdominal breathing. This one also called Taoist breathing. From here you can see there's a different society. The first thing is try to see what's the difference of a Buddhist society and Taoist society. The Taoist philosophy and Buddhist philosophy is different. Buddhist society is say, okay, I provide the conditions and allow the qi to circulate by itself. See, that means it provides a condition, allow the qi to circulate. but the Tao is not. You make it circulate. It make it happen. This allowed it happen. This one make it happen. So which one is more aggressive? Tao is more aggressive. So from this breathing, you see it's different now. So this one, I change directions. Eventually, when you inhale, this abdominal area you bring in, and the perineum going up. But a lot of people say, how do I control the perineum area? It's very easily. You can do it. This anus, the front side is the testicles. All right, the anus, this muscle belong to the same muscles. Remember the human structure. The things in here, get out here. So that's me getting out here. Every time you go to the toilet, in order to get it out, you have to push this out. So when you push this out to release the energy, when the energy release, that means things can come out. I don't care you go to urination or go to the other big one. So when this happens, that's why you have to push this down. So these belong to the same muscles. So that means whenever you push anus out, perineum will push out. When you hold the anus up, the perineum hold up. It's very simple, right? Okay, now this one, this breathing here problem now. This in, and this inhale is in. This going up is in. And now in. This body become extremely in. When you exhale, this is yang, and they push this out is yang, and this push down is yang. Now you can see yang, extremely yang. So some people say, oh, this is not normal. No, it's normal. It's normal. It's only we don't do it all the time. Normally, we use this breathing. We inhale, this one going out, very normal. But this one, you inhale, this go in. When this exhale, you push out, okay? But it's normal. When we do that, remember, if it's not normal, it cannot call, it's Tao. The Tao, that means the nature way. Whenever you have an emotional disturbance, it changes to reverse abdominal breathing. For example, you laugh. You say, ha, 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 ha. You try to express yourself. Ha, 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 ha. You push abdomen out. You push perineum down. You exhale. You are sad. You cry. You scare. You inhale, this one, in, perineum, up. So whenever you have an emotional disturbance, you change to reverse abdominal breathing. Not only that, the second, when you have an intention, remember this is the mind get involved now. Whenever you have an intention to energize your physical body, you change to reverse abdominal breathing. For example, you push a car and lift the weight. It's just a very simple experiment. There's a broom, no broom, it's broom in your hands, blow it. You see there's a reverse abdominal breathing. So now you have an intention to energize your physical body, you change to reverse abdominal breathing. Okay, then actually, how did it happen? Let's try to analyze this one. Okay, now you can see this is bone marrow, and this is surface skin. I use blue colors. This is one of the meridian, we call primary chi channels. Remember, this is a primary channel. There's a secondary channel branch out from this, go to sideways. Go to surface skin, go into the bone marrows. This is called secondary channels. When you do the normal abdominal breathing, the majority of the chi go to this way. Because you're relaxing, because chi is not going sideways. When you go sideways, you enter the muscle, it makes muscle tense. You're energizing the muscles. So because this way. So it become this way. But when you go to reverse abdominal breathing, actually the majority chi go to the sideways. Then that's why enter the muscle, make you tense. So that's mean when you scare, you tense. When you laugh, ha ha ha, you tense up. When you do this one, you relax. This one, you're more tense. All right, now there's a problem now. The problem is, see, this one you inhale, this going in, this going up. The life is coming down, down, up, in. Now you can see all the inner trap. Where they trap? Because the backside is a vertebra. So inner trap in front, because vertebra is so strong, it cannot trap there, it's only here this part. So that's the reason when you laugh very hard, I don't know if you have the experience, you laugh very hard, it causes stomach pain, cramping. You are sad, it causes stomach upsetting as well. The same thing, you do too much of physical exercise, stomach get upset as well. That's because reverse abdominal breathing. So that means this one you have to train. If you don't train, and your mind, when you train, during the training process, your mind have to be aware of how tight this way is. You try to make it relaxed as possible until it becomes a habit. Okay, now in this process, you watch the glands, how they move. This you push up, again, the testicle and ovary also get stimulated. This one in and out, the pancreas also gets stimulated, no problem, these two glands. This one, you push this up, left and push down. Now kidney also heavily squeezed. So eventually this one can enhance more the hormones production than the earliest one. So that's the reason when you do this kind of abdominal breathing, usually you live longer. Live longer is not because they allowed more oxygen to come in and carbon dioxide going out. It's also because the hormones productions, all right? So this one, you take your time to practice. So remember that. First step and second step. So this is very important for you to understand. In this case, the chi here will start to develop. It doesn't matter which one you used. So you practice. If you start practicing this kind of abdominal breathing, for example, I use reverse, because now my mind is strong, my mind get involved. I inhale, then exhale. I inhale, I exhale. And I inhale, and I exhale. Slowly, slowly, I continue to develop. After you practice for about 5 minutes, you find out this place get warm. Okay, now there are two kinds of breathing get involved. One kind is called martial fire. Martial fire, it does mean this part push out, move in heavily. For example, you see the tiger claw, they call Hongga tiger, it comes from Hong's family. You see Hongga tiger right away, they come out, they go, do this exercise right away. The build in is so quick, but at the same time manifest it with the hard sounds, because hard sound need the chi to manifest it. Right away you can see after only a few minutes, the body becomes so strong and they can fight. That's called martial fire. But this kind of energy you build up quickly, but you're consuming it. But a lot of times when you practice, you want to come down so you can store the energy inside to higher level instead of you consume it immediately. So that one's called scholar fire. Scholar fire actually moves it so gently, inhale slowly, and feel the body remain as calm as possible. All right, so from here, you can see now. For example, practice Tai Chi Chuan. You practice Tai Chi Chuan for relaxations. Which one you used? Oh, people say, yeah, this one. But you practice Tai Chi Chuan, you have a sense of enemy. You have an intention to lead the chi to manifest into the power. Which one you use? Reverse abdominal breathing. So that's become very important part of martial arts breathing is reverse abdominal breathing. But before you enter this one, I highly recommend practice normal abdominal breathing first for a few months until your mind can control the muscle here efficiently. Then slowly you convert into reverse abdominal breathing. Okay. You don't have questions? I'm sorry, even if you have questions, you cannot ask. All right, we continue next subject. Okay. Now, we talk about martial breathing. The first step of learning martial breathing actually called dantian breathing. Sometimes they call cavity breathing, 穴位息. But when you know embryonic breathing, then you can call embryonic breathing. But remember, you shift. The place you focus on is shift inside. Remember, embryonic breathing, all these ancient documents was not even revealed to the public until probably 20, 30 years ago. Before that time, it's hidden in the monastery. They talk about that, we heard about it, but we don't know how to do it until only recently I started translating into English. I become the Qigong meditation, embryonic breathing. So those people you are interested in embryonic breathing, please read this book. It's pretty thick. That's because there are lots of translation from ancient documents. Okay. At the same time, we have lessons, our lectures that you can listen and practice. Okay. The difference of embryonic breathing and the regular dantian breathing is only the mind is here and mind is here. But this part still move. I don't care. So if your mind is here, that's a normal. Normally in ancient time, all the martial art practice, their mind is not here because remember, as I said, this one is only hidden in the monastery. The regular martial artists, they wouldn't know. Or even a lot of martial artists in the monastery, they wouldn't know either because the embryonic breathing is concealed like a secret in the monastery. Okay. So when you practice this one, remember, every time you practice here, through exercise, you're converting the fat into the qi. For example, my arms here is too fat. I keep exercise. After exercise for a few months, you can see the skin becomes skinnier and skinnier, fat disappear. The same thing. Through this exercise, the fat converted into the qi. And you do slow, and then if you know embryonic breathing, you can lead this qi in the center and store it. If you don't know how to lead the qi to the center, yes, this way can store the qi to some levels. Because remember, here there are 6 levels, muscle and fascia, muscle and fascia. Actually, it's a battery itself. So when you practice this one, beginning, after a couple of weeks, you feel this place get warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer. Until you practice, month to month, you find this place start vibrate. Like jump by itself. That means the nerves get overreacting. That means the nerves, you reach the saturation of the qi, so the nerves start jumping around. Don't be alarmed. That's pretty normal. So that's because the reason sometimes they say in this case that means the qi is drum for because vibrate like a drum, like these kind of vibrations. So, but it's okay. Keep practicing, more relaxed. You find out the vibration will stop because remember nerves. The nerves can be conditioned. One of the very famous Chinese body conditioning is called armchair training. It's called golden bell cover. Actually, the other words, Chinese words, they call beating training. Actually, the master really tie you up. After tie up, then use a stick to hit you. So the question you try to, for example, I want to train the back muscle. Usually they start at first. You try to break the rope. You try to break the rope, at the same time you cause all the back muscle tense up. The muscle will go there to hit you, to stimulate your nerve system. The beginning, light power, and slowly get heavier power, heavier power. After 6 months, when I hit you, you say, oh, there's no pain. The whole thing is conditioning your nerve system, so you can endure the people's punch, no problem. See, the same thing for this area. So after you train for a while, then this way can take more energy, more qi. Then you can see vibration stop. Then you continue practice. Then again, it goes to go to vibration. This kind of process can repeat many times. That means continue condition the battery here, but continue charge here. But remember, this only reach a level. Once you reach that level, they cannot go any higher. So energy go to the governing vessel, conception vessel. It circulate to 12 channels. That means you're consuming it. That means you never reach high levels. That's why the Taoists say, oh, this is a false dantian. It's not real. Because you cannot store the qi to very high levels. In order to store qi to high level, you have to lead the qi inside, store in the center. That's why embryonic breathing kick in. Talk about real dantian. So in this case, they can store the qi to much, much higher level. Remember earlier we mentioned, in order to energize more brain cells, you need a lot of qi. Remember, every brain cell consumes 12 times or more of oxygen. That means every cell probably consumes 12 times or more of electricity as well. So that means I want to activate more brain cells. That means I need a lot of qi here. So this kind of qi here cannot do the job. So you have to build up a lot of qi here, and you have to condition this battery in order to store more qi, then you can lead it up. Yeah, those people interested, please refer to the book, Qigong, The Secret of Youth. Inside, actually, all talk about muscle tendon change and bone marrow washing. So dantian breathing, actually, this is a practice of build up the qi. If you know the embryonic breathing, then you learn the need the qi there. It's only to build up the process, build up the qi process. Until the qi here can build up to abundant levels, then the qi can use it for manifestations. That's the first step. I call dantian breathing. After dantian breathing, the second things is Yongquan breathing. Yongquan is considered bubbling well. It's kidney number 1. This is the Yongquan cavities, kidney number 1. This area, the qi, is the same thing compared with Lao Gong. This area, the qi come out here, then distribute, branch out. But not only that, in order to make the qi strong here, the conceptual vessel, not conceptual vessel, inhale vessel, in-linking vessel, this connect to the sexual organ, has to be strong as well. So that's why in China it's well known. The sexual energy is related to the leg strength, especially for the guys or the men. Because the men, when you have too much of sex, that's why the leg get weakening, because energy is drained out. All this reservoir, remember. This reservoir connected to sexual organs. This one is the center here, not the center, a little bit in front. Okay. Those 2 cavities correspond to these 2 cavities. These 2 cavities correspond to the fire. That's hard. These 2 cavities correspond to the kidney. It's water. Water going down, fire going up. So this one going energy downwards. So all this training is so important in martial artists. Why? Because the martial arts is a very important part of the training is called routine. You have to have a good root. If you don't have a good root, then you cannot have a good fighting, because that means you don't have foundation to manifest the power. So routine. In order to get a good root and good balance, all these joints have to be strong. In order to get the joint strong, you have to lead the qi there to the bottom, to the leg. As simple as that. So that's become Yongquan breathing. So this kind of breathing is so simple. When you inhale in the dantian, when I exhale, I squat down slightly and slowly I imagine. Remember, it's your mind to lead the qi. I imagine I'm pushing my feet down against the ground. My mind has to at least 6 inches first. Slowly get deeper and deeper. The bones, all these 3 sectional bones, you twist it and you bend it. So what you see now, I twist it and bend it. When you twist and bend it, then the surrounding tissue start get exercise, get conditions. If you just bend it, the surrounding tissue, there's no stretching. It's become only this way. So that's a very good for these 3 joints. And the more you practice, the more the qi can go in down to the bottom. 2 purposes. 1, if I do that, I have more quantity of qi go to the bottom of my feet. Now I improve my sensitivity of my feet. Everything is talking about sensitivity. You want to build up the root. The first thing is sensitivity. The second thing, how deep I can lead the qi down. That means how deep I can get the qi to build up the root. Because the reason in Chinese martial arts training, the beginning is train on the ground for this kind of training, and slowly you stand on the brick. Then after that, stand on the brick this way, and 2 brick, 3 brick. So this kind of training, keep practicing. But remember, when you go to brick like this way, for example, the mind cannot be on the top of brick, it can fall. The mind has to be on the bottom of your feet. So that means the feeling has to be here. So once you practice a long time, you remove the brick, then your mind actually is so deep to the ground. That's a routine training. Now, Chinese, they call it 站桩. 桩, that means stump, because in ancient time, they stand on the trunk of the tree. They cut it into pieces, they stand on the top for that kind of training. But today you can find the brick easily. Okay. So this for routine training. Not only that, for this one, you can use this one to condition these 3 joints. Because these 3 joints is so important. Before I mention one thing today, is we have a big problem because all the roads flat. All the rows flat, so all your leg exercise this angle. So these 3 joints, you don't know how to line up like ancient time. Ancient time, the roads are bumpy. So these 3 joints, you have to line up. You learn to line up right, so the surrounding tissue all strong. They coordinate with each other. But today, we always walk in the same angle. That means surrounding tissue get weakening. But in martial arts, this is very important. Without those surrounding tissue to support the joints, you cannot have a good balance and good routine. So first thing you train this one is inhale, then exhale. Lead the chi down, strongly lead the chi down by imagination. Now inhale, then exhale. You can train 5-10 minutes a day, easily. Until you feel the bottom of feet get warmer and warmer. Remember, when you feel the bottom of feet warmer and warmer, don't put your mind on the feet. Your mind is there, the chi cannot go underneath it. Even if you feel warmer, you be aware of it, but at the same time, your mind should be still continue underneath your feet. After you train for a while, then start conditioning your surrounding tissue. You inhale, turn your body, twist it as far as you can. Then exhale, squat down. So what you do, you twist it and then bend it. Then go to the outside, twist it and bend it. So when you do this kind of training, you can see the surrounding tissue is start twisted and bend. That's we condition all those 3 joints and continue to build up the strength for that. So to prevent a lot of injury, especially when you do the martial art training. Okay, so that's called Yongquan breathing. Then third step, we talk about Lao Gong breathing. Lao Gong, we talk about the pericardium, irregular heart fire. So Lao Gong is the center of your palm. This breathing is so important for martial art training. See, I want to manifest my power to my fingers so I can use for grabbing, I can use for punch, or I can use a palm to strike. If my chi cannot reach here, how can I use the chi to manifest the body? So the Lao Gong breathing becomes so important in martial arts society. So the way to train that is so simple. It's very easy for you to practice because you have the image and you're pushing something, because the mind. So what you do, this one, you inhale, then exhale. Remember, you all use reverse abdominal breathing because you have intention. So you do that, you inhale, exhale by imagining pushing something about at least that far away. The more you practice, the more you find out the chi come out here, and the whole palms get warmer and warmer until one day it get cool instead of warm. That means chi go out instead of trap on the palms. When the inner trap in the palm, then it will produce a resistance. That's where the heat, where the warm feeling. If a palm can be so relaxed, the chi can project it out. The palm don't get very hot. It get tinkling feeling. So it becomes the inhale, then exhale. Then inhale and exhale. Okay, again, this kind of practice can practice for a long time. Until every time you inhale, you can exhale, get the chi there. For example, remember I told you earlier so about you push your car. You inhale, then exhale. Until you feel chi there, then you start tense up. It's the same thing. The martial art by inhale, then exhale. Start feel the chi there, boom, I tense up. This power is strong. Instead of right away, I tense up. I exhale, then tense up. See the difference? So because the reason you have to understand why we have to do this one. So Lao Gong breathing is to talk about these 2 gates. You can practice anytime you want. Until in the future you get stronger and stronger, you start lead the chi to all the fingers. All the fingers is a gate. So breathe through the fingers. Remember the most famous one, the fingers is from a Shaolin monk. Actually, he's not really Shaolin monk, he's from Ermei Mountain. But later, Shaolin Temple recruited him. He called Haideng. Haideng, he was, when he was 80 years old, he had a performance. Use one fingers, go upside down. I don't know how many of you see that tape. It's amazing. 80 years old man, he can put one finger upside down. How can this finger so strong? That's all the chi training. They call it Yi Chan. That means one finger meditation. Because one finger, all the chi project here, so become so strong. This finger is for cavity strike, yeah, for Haideng. Yeah, he passed away a few years, many years ago already. Okay, so this is Lao Gong breathing. So these 2 become important Because to build up your root, we are this root, then you can manifest the power because the energy from here, one flow downwards, the other upwards, and become balanced. Okay. After that, number 4, become 4 gates breathing. Yeah, 4 gates breathing, that means you did a chi down and did a chi to the hands. At the same time, because you learn to balance now. So that means I inhale, go to the dantian. When I exhale, go to the bottom of the feet. At the same time, push your hand down. So you balance it. So become this the center. Inhale comes here, exhale going down. The inhale, then exhale. And inhale, and exhale. Remember, this is all internal training for the martial arts. Again, this kind of training, I don't see too many people training it. But it's a crucial key. Make a Chinese martial art different from other martial arts because have an internal size of a breathing training. So 4 gates breathing, again, train this one, you can turn your body to the sideway to condition this one and condition this one. Of course, from here, you can start going forward, still 4 gates breathing. And start go this way, become all the martial art you can see. They train inhale, then exhale, and inhale, exhale. That's all 4 gates breathing. Okay. After 4 gates breathing, next one is very important. It's the number 5, called 5th gate breathing. Fifth gate breathing. Okay. When we talk about all these things, everything talk about when you fight, what are you fighting? When 2 armies they fight, or when 2 persons fight, what are they fighting? Are they fighting for the technique or fighting for the spirit? Remember, whoever the spirit is higher, he wins. It doesn't really matter of the technique. Yeah. Chinese always know, whoever the spirit is higher, even the technique is lousy, he can be fight so bravery. The other guy, it doesn't matter, even he have a very good technique, but his spirit is low, he become chicken. Because he cannot fight. Because the reason, how can you build up this spirit that you don't get scared? See, that's become very important part called the 5th gate breathing. It's for the spirit. How do you do that? Of course, this one is for focusing. As we said earlier, this is for focusing. So when you fight, this one have to think, pay attention to every tiny movement your enemy did. Read the body language. You're focusing. When you do that, your eyes so shining, it really scare your enemies. Okay. Not only that, you have to raise up this one in order to make a chi manifested. This one has to up. If this is down, that means all the energy drained down. This is up, all the energy manifested. Then you can fight bravery. Then you're not afraid. If this is down, then you're afraid. Because the reason the 5th gate breathing is so important. This is a 5th gate, balance this gate. So this up, actually this is down. Remember, then you have 2 legs also down. So, but now, don't worry about the other 4. Just talk about 5th gate. So 5th gate breathing is so simple. You just stay there. Don't even squat down. Don't do anything. You inhale, go here. Exhale, raise up your spirit. At the same time, exhale, push your perineum down. So this energy from here, thrust out, upward and downwards. When you do this one, the same time, invisible spiritual light from here, shooting out. Focus on your enemies. So let me inhale, condense your energy, condense your spirit inside. Then you exhale, open your eyes, staring forward, at the same time raise up energy here. So you can see all the energy that coming out of this area, come out this area. Now inhale, let's get in, then exhale, go out. Okay, you can do that when you fight. You have that spirit. That's called 5th gate breathing. So the 5th gate breathing usually is much harder. So normally for a lot of martial artists, after training for a couple of years, they can do 4 gates breathing. 5th gate breathing becomes difficult unless you meditate. When you meditate, you can easily manipulate the body energy, but the spirits can be under your control easily. Then there's a 5th gate breathing. If you can get a 5th gate breathing, next step is called 5 gates breathing. It actually, what you do, you combine these two into this one. So that means when I raise up my spirit, my energy manifests into my finger, manifests in my feet. So that's why exactly you inhale, then exhale. The eyes wide open, the spirit is out, this focusing going out. When you train, watch your candles. If you don't have a candle, any object, the best way to train is, say, okay, you want to train your sparring. The best thing is to try to watch the right distance. If your distance, how far your enemy, then that's the distance your eyes should focus. And then to get used to it. Very sensitive. So once your eyes get used to it, the focus on that point with the third eyes, then raise up your spirit. Then inhale, then exhale. This is always the easiest one. After start going this exercise, I start going all this exercise. So you learn how to lead the energy to different angles to manifest it. In this book, I introduced some of those exercises in this book about martial arts for chi manifestation. But theory-wise, it didn't explain as clear as this one. Because remember, this was only for introductory, for the beginners. So when you get the 5 gates breathing, eventually you catch the keys. But remember, this is not the final. What's the final? That's become very important part. Final, that's number 7. They call martial grand circulation. Okay, because this reason, let me explain what's a martial grand circulation. It makes it so much a significant difference of this one. All right, let's try to analyze the body structure. The body's energy, look at pretty balanced. It's not exactly balanced, but it's pretty balanced. That's because the body have an inner structure to become the major frame. These major frames become the major supporting of the entire body's energy system. Okay, to Chinese Qigong society, it's known there are 7 called appearing gate or matching gate. This gate, one yin, one yang, they match with each other. They become the major point. For example, these 2 Lao Gong, it match with Yong Quan. That's external. That's not the same. We talk about 7 because the 7 all in the torsos. Okay. The first one is this one. You already know this and this. These 2 matching. This is yin, this is yang. So that's why Chinese say yang is the sun. So look at Chinese, they call yang sen, because sun is yang. When this wakes up, all the body energy manifested. This one balanced with this one. In order to get up, you have to get down. Boom, the energy balanced. So this is the first gate, through the spinal cord. Because this gives you the center. That's most important. Because this is talking about spirit. Then the second, talk about this one. Yin Tang, or they call Tianyan, called sky eyes. In the Western society, called the third eyes. This one and the back side also balance each other because your brain is 2 hemispheres. Between is empty. There's no brain cell. So these 2 energy from here and that back energy, you focus. So these 2 balance. The other one's 2 balance is here. There's a Ren Zong and the Na Fu, these 2 balance. Tian Tu, the throat, and the Da Zui, a balance. This one we're going to discuss more detail when we talk about small circulations. Then after that is a Zhu Wei, and the back side is the Ling Tai. Then this one, Yin Jiao and the Ming Men. And this one is groin and tailbones. So you can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inside, which gate connected to the dantian, to the battery. It's easy for you to recognize this gate. This gate and this gate connected to the dantian. because that's where the qi. The whole idea is how can I lead the qi from the dantian to my arm to my leg so I can manifest it more powerfully. It becomes crucial key in Chinese ancient time. It's considered secret. In Tai Chi class, they say, lead the qi spine, following the spine upwards. Remember, lead the qi following the spine upwards. It's not talking about spinal cord. They talk about governing vessels. You don't know what is the conception of vessel, governing vessel. Please refer to the basic fundamental theory of the Qigong lectures. Normal qi lead from here. This is yin jiao. Normally qi come from here and circulate through the governing vessel, conception vessel, and distribute to 12 channels. So normally, if you want to manifest the qi into power, for example, to your arms, what you do, you go here, normally go here. So this cavity is Da Zui, the energy going out to the arms. Da Zui is very simple. You put your arm like that and put the spine. There where's the junction, it is Da Zui. You look at the body's nerve system, it's very easy for you to identify from this system. There's a spinal cord, this arm, Da Zui is over here. You can see all the nerves branch out from here and go to the arms. So that's the reason, if I know how to lead the qi here, I can manifest. That's why I function, my arms function. Through this exercise, then my qi can go there. Question now, there's another path. This path from here and to here. This part usually we don't use it because usually we don't need it. But occasionally we do it. I remember when I started learning the Tai Chi Chuan, the beginning of all my exercise from Master Gao is this kind of exercise. Very simple exercise. You inhale and exhale. Remember I started learning Tai Chi when I was 16 years old. And people always ask me, how could you start your Tai Chi Chuan when you are 16 years old? You are so young. The question, when I was 16 years old, at that time I have a serious ulcer. I have an ulcer from 9 years old until 15, 16. As under my White Crane Master's suggestion, I started practicing Tai Chi Chuan because he told me that Tai Chi Chuan can help me relax the stomach area, to relax and to heal the ulcer. So that's why I started practicing. I go to find Master Gao and to learn this one. First thing I learned is actually this kind of movements. Very surprised. After training for 6 months, the ulcer disappeared. Guess where the ulcer? All my energy trapped inside here. So all the energy trapped here. But now I can learn, open this place, allow the energy going back. Now front side and back side, a balance. All right? This exercise is very simple. The same as we sigh. You inhale and exhale. Okay, the first thing you have to learn to open the Mingmen in these cavities. Mingmen, as we mentioned earlier, this is sacrum, L2, L3. Between L2 and L3, this cavity called Mingmen. Mingmen, Chinese name, Mingmen, translated into English called life door, because it's connected to the life. Yin jiao is injunction, because the conception vessel and thrusting vessel, they connected and the point. All right, so in order to open this place, it's so simple. If your hand touch it here, if you put your hand on the top of sacrum, where the thumb is, that's where roughly the Mingmen is. So what you do, you just gently push back. You can see the bones become this way. Now it's open. You find out this way, you can feel this place locked. Then slowly open it. You say, oh, relaxing. You feel very comfortable. You find out the whole thing is open. The first thing you have to learn is to keep this open. So now you inhale and exhale. Okay. Now in this place open, what you do, now you lead the qi upwards, following the spine. Now, normal people, they use the qi here to manifest the power. Now you have extra energy here to manifest it. You have more extra energy. I don't care, even 5%, 10% more, you win. That's become very important part of called body movement in martial art training. So you inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So when you do this practice, the first one you watch my physical action. In, actually I'm locking this one, in. So the first half of inhalation is actually here, first half, in. When the chi reaches the back, then you can see that I move back. So second half of inhalation is here. Then when you branch out from Da Zui, then this exhalation. So they become in and out. In and out. Become power, become this way, in and out, in and out. So when you do that, the power becomes strong, and they call martial art, martial grand circulation. When you practice, it's very simple. Just simply put the hand this way. Remember earlier you talked about 5 gates breathing, only this one, there's no spine movements. The only thing now, you have the 8 spine movements and 8 your mind. Your mind did the chi upwards, and from here it manifested. So it become inhale, exhale to the fingertip. You can do this exercise, inhale and exhale. All right. If you know how to do this one right, I want you to compare this one with 4 gates breathing. You find out this one chi is much stronger. After you practice for a long time until it becomes a habit. Once it becomes a habit, that's called the regulating of no regulating. What it means, regulating of no regulating. That means your mind don't have to be there to make it happen. Like you're driving the car. The beginning you learn how to drive the car, your mind is in driving. But after you practice driving for a long time, your mind not in driving. Because everything becomes automatic, become very simple. Without thinking, you can manipulate, you can operate the machine easily. The same thing, when you practice one, after you practice for a long time, everything becomes so natural. So that's means without thinking, you're doing the grand circulation fighting. Of course, now you last long. You have endurance. As long as you have endurance, then you have more power than other people. If you have that, you win. In Chinese, say, 一胆,二力,三功夫. It's very simple. 一胆, the first one, your bravery. We already talked about bravery. How do you raise up your bravery? You have to conquer yourself, raise up your spirit, focus your eye. That's bravery. 二力, the second, is power. We talk about this one. How do you enhance your power? Then the third one is talk about Kung Fu, how much effort you put into the technique. So, 一胆,二力,三功夫. It's very common. Yeah. I want you to ponder and think about it. So, once the more you think about, then start understand. All this breathing theory and the Jing theory, I interpret or explain it in my book called The Essence of a Shaolin White Crane. That book is not martial arts, it's all martial art Qigong training. The theory, it can fit in for almost all style. I don't care, it's karate, taekwondo, tang soo do, whatever, or any style of Chinese martial arts. Or theory remain the same because the Tao is the same. But how the way it manifests, it becomes different styles. So those people you are interested to understand more theory about that, please read that book called The Essence of a Shaolin White Crane. In that book, the theory is the same for every style, but it's only the exercise is a White Crane because that's from White Crane approach. Yet after all, White Crane, I practiced White Crane since I was 15 years old. That was 43 years ago. Yeah. So that's the reason the White Crane actually is my foundation. I know White Crane more than any other style. Okay. And then as long as you ponder, you practice, by no time you are a Jedi. Thank you.